Keep her on that course, Mr. Jarvis.
All right, Captain.
Why don't you go below?
It's too stuffy down there.
Not still sulking, are you, Charlotte?
Why couldn't we have called in at Gibraltar?
I've told you. The news would have got straight back to your father.
But are we safe now? I mean, really safe?
Yes.
I hope so. I just can't help thinking that at any moment either Samuel or my father will appear over that horizon.
Nonsense. They'll be looking for us on the other side of the Atlantic by now.
Yes. Yes, I suppose he will be.
Charlotte, just remember the Black Pearl can outrun any of his sailing ships. And anyway, the Mediterranean is a big place. There's nothing to worry about.
No. No, of course not. I'm feeling better already. Gloom all gone. And where's our next port of call, Captain Burgess?
Barcelona. Yeah? Oh, from the agent in Gibraltar. Here you are, lad. No, I think so. If they're heading for Barcelona, we've got them, Will.
Don't you go counting the chickens. They'll not stay there long. There are plenty of places they can hold up in the Mediterranean.
Ah, but they can't get out again without me knowing. Only two ways. Suez or Gibraltar.
All the same, be like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Ah, but at least now we know which haystack. The only way to attract a needle is with a magnet.
Eh?
Something to attract the Black Pearl.
So you thought to have your wicked will of me. Revenge. I shall be revenged. Little did you know it was I who bought up all your debts. Why do you look so pale, sir? Well, so the corpse has come to life.
Where am I?
In my bed.
Who are you? Oh, yes. The theatre. Oh, Lord. Did I make an ass of myself?
Let us say you were rather an importunate young man with more money than sense. You remember my father, don't you?
He's ought to make feeling very well this morning, my lady. He's just drunk his bath and going back to bed. Swallow that down, young fella, my lad. Toot sweet.
What is it?
Fergus Doyle say must pick me up and knock you down, guaranteed to put hairs on the chest of the Statue of Liberty. Drink up, my fine feathered friend. Those who look upon the wine when it is red, awake in the morn, wishing they were dead. I am Fergus Doyle, manager and principal actor of a troupe of strolling players, a company of wandering thespians who, twice nightly, interpret the works of our leading playwrights, of whose number I account myself a humble practitioner.
Oh, yes, I remember now. It was a performance of the Silver King. You played the...
Wilfred Denver, the Silver King himself. Oh, God, put back the universe and give me yesterday. My daughter Helen portrayed the character of Nellie Denver, the long-suffering wife of my bosom.
And the gallery was awash with tears.
Oh, yes, indeed. I thought it was a most moving performance.
So you continually told us.
When?
Throughout the performance, you kept shouting encouraging remarks from your box.
Oh, Lord.
Until the manager asked you and your friends to leave.
Oh, look, I'm most dreadfully sorry. I do apologize.
Bit of breakfast? Just the thing to set you up. Might I recommend a nice fat bloater?
Just a cup of tea would do admirably, thank you.
Tea, toast, and marmalade, Father. If you will attend to it, I shall lay the table.
As you wish, my dear. Oh, by the by, young man, you have not as yet enlightened us as to your patronymic. Oh, you did attempt to articulate it once or twice, but sadly...
Needing. Samuel O'Needin.
Needing? What a funny name.
Well, Mr. Needham, are you ready for your breakfast? Or should we call it luncheon at this hour?
Samuel still hasn't come home, and he's been out all night.
He'll not thank you for prying into his life, Sarah.
I'm so worried about him, and he's drinking far too much.
Still no word of Charlotte?
No. And Samuel says he still doesn't want her back. I can't believe he means it.
I can.
But they're married.
In name only. They no longer love one another.
Love? What about duty and obedience? Honor and obey. Those are the vows a woman makes. And come what may, she should keep those vows.
Oh, that'll be Charles. I promise to go riding with him.
Elizabeth, do take care.
I had to tell someone.
Better me than the bottle.
I knew she was unhappy, but I never dreamt for a moment that she'd leave me.
Hurts, doesn't it? But it's not a wound you can cauterize with alcohol.
Oh, I know. Never again.
Oh, dear, I know the symptoms. Alcoholic remorse. My father's a chronic sufferer.
Oh, you should meet my mother. She's a member of the Temperance League. She drowns her sorrows by doing good works and going to seances.
More constructive than wallowing in self-pity.
You don't believe in all that nonsense.
All I believe is that when the curtain comes down, you start on a new play.
Never met an actress before.
We're a much maligned profession. Stage door Johnnies imagine all they have to do is tip their hats and we'll immediately tumble into bed.
Oh.
Oh, dear. Have I shocked you?
No, only I hope you didn't think that I...
No, Samuel. You are obviously a lost lamb who'd been led astray. Had I thought otherwise, I would have left you lying there in the gutter.
You're very sympathetic and understanding. I wish...
What?
What was that your father said about turning back the universe?
Turn back the universe and give me yesterday. Lines in a play by Daddy Herman and Arthur Jones. That's all they are, Samuel. Lines in a play.
Just the same. I wish...
What?
Would you have supper with me tonight?
Tonight? Very well, Mr. Needham. I accept your kind invitation.
Oh, Needham. I think you'd better stick to Samuel.
Oh, Needham would never do on a playbill. Samuel it is, then. Friends?
Friends. I'll call for you at the stage door. Goodbye.
This is the kitchen and refectory. Do you like what I've done, James?
Yeah, every one of them rooms had a carpet on floor. It's not an orphanage, it's more like a hotel.
I want this to be a model for the children's homes in the future. I'm glad you approve.
Oh, I didn't say I approved. That's for being a model. I don't see anybody following your lead unless they've got more money than good sense.
Oh, James, the children that come here will only ever have known squalor and filth. Would you deny them a bit of comfort?
Comfort? Oh, more like luxury. I can't see any lads wanting to go to sea after staying in a place like this.
I'm not running it for your benefit, James O'Needin. These children will want something better out of life.
I want to start halfway up tree. Here, now listen, Letty. You cut out all the fowler-lows, put lino on the floor, and straw mattresses for them to sleep on, and you'll have 2 homes for the price of 1.
James, I intend running this home my way.
Well, I hope you've got the brass to do it.
I could always do with a bit more.
Looking for a donation?
I'm not particular on whose door I knock.
Very well. 50 guineas.
James, you're not serious.
You had a bit of luck. Yeah, some time back I invested 50 guineas in this fellow who wanted to go gold mining in the Transvaal. Well, to the day he sent me a draft for 5,000.
5,000 guineas?
Not a bad return, is it?
And you had the gall to offer me a miserly 50.
Miserly?
With a windfall like that, what else would you call it?
Well, if I was in your shoes, lass, I'd call it a handsome donation. I doubt I shall get the same return on this 50 guineas as I got on the last one.
No, because you can't balance the lives of children in a profit and loss account.
Enter.
Evil monster.
Oh, excuse me, the man at the stage door, sir. Oh, it's you, Mr. Doyle.
Come in, my boy.
I shall be.
Come into the workshop of our little world, Mr. O'Naden.
Thank you.
You wouldn't be of Irish extraction, would you?
No, I don't think so.
Well, never mind. At least you have a fondness for the theatre. Pray, be seated. Helen will be with you shortly. Only a couple of minutes to the final curtain. Now then, young man, tell me something of yourself. What will be the nature of your occupation, Mr. O'Naden?
Oh, I buy and sell.
Travelling man. I knew it the moment I clapped eyes on you. You have the style. Come day, go day, free and easy, not a care in the world. That young fella, I said to myself, is a travelling man for sure.
Oh, well, I have been to America.
America! Now there's a fine country for you, where the actors shoot politicians. Taken a fancy to me daughter, have you?
Oh, well, I admire her very much, yes.
You'll have a long, hard road to hoe there, my boy.
I do assure you, sir, that my intentions are entirely...
Honourable. Exactly what I told her mother, God rest her poor soul. I had a waxworks once. Doyle's living tableau, the female form divine. Now I tread the boards, me true forte. I have a play in my pocket, my boy, that will set the world on fire. 12 changes of scenery, a storm at sea, and a train wreck.
Oh, sounds most interesting.
All I need is a backer. Helen will play the part of the heroine. A heroine saved from a fate worse than death at the hands of the infidel by the handsome stranger who, in the guise of a blackamoor, is none other than our bold hero. Myself?
Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you saved her. Helen, you chose a delightful name for your daughter, Mr. Doyle.
A delightful name for a delightful actress. Obviously, you're a man of great perception, Mr. O'Naden.
You're very quiet this evening.
Yes.
Is something troubling you?
Yes.
What?
I've been trying to summon up my courage and find the right words to ask you to marry me. And now I've done just that.
Oh, if only it were possible.
Anything's possible if one wants it enough.
No, I've told you 100 times a divorce would wreck Daniel's political career, and it would ruin your social standing.
Elizabeth.
No, as much as I desire my own happiness, I couldn't possibly...
You mustn't worry about me. Nowadays, a divorce can be arranged quite discreetly.
For some people, perhaps, but he's a prominent politician.
And my father has friends in high places.
Even so...
He has a financial interest in one newspaper, knows the owners of several more. If the matter were not reported in the press, very few people need know.
There could be no guarantee of silence.
Elizabeth, I want to meet Daniel.
No.
Yes, and talk matters over with him. From the little you've told me, I feel sure you want to do the honorable thing and make you happy.
Look, let's not talk about it now.
If I've been clumsy in my eagerness, you must forgive me. It's just that...
Give me time. Give me time.
Well, what do you reckon, Jack?
We might have enough coal to reach Port Said, but that's about it. Should have taken on more.
With only a part cargo, that's all I could afford.
Well, you'll have to buy coal sooner or later.
I'll bunker there, once we've been paid for this cargo. All right. Put it down to half speed.
Well, do you like it?
When did you buy all these?
In Barcelona.
Charlotte, we just cannot afford this extravagance.
You said I could go shopping.
I meant for food. Can you not get it into your tiny head that we have very little money left? We need every penny.
You promised me that we'd soon show a profit. My father makes money out of his ships, so why can't you?
Look, he sails with full cargoes, profitable ones. I'm forced to take what I can get.
You say that it's always be like this?
No. No, I'm not. I think we could do very well in Mombasa.
And where's that?
East Africa. It's not yet fully developed, but it sits astride the main trade routes. Just the place to make a fresh start.
Well, I hope it's reasonably civilized. Is that where we're headed now?
No. To pay for our way through the canal and have some money in hand, I need one more good cargo. And with luck, I might just pick that up in port side.
Father will follow us.
Maybe. But once past Suez, he'll never find us.
Find the lady. Try your luck. I'll tell you, it's as easy as kiss me hand. Now come and find the lady.
Go on then. I'll have a go.
Well done, Doyle.
Well, don't seem to be in the way of it. Look, I'll have one more go, eh?
You sure you can afford it, son?
It's a chance to get me money back, eh?
Come on, lads. There's a young chicken here waiting to be plucked. Right.
7 and 6pence, that's all I've got. I seem to be in the way of it. Well, any more for any more? Now, come on, try your luck. Find the lady.
Find the lady. Do you think you will?
Only a matter of knowing where to look.
You sound mighty sure of yourself.
Well, it always helps to deal the cards yourself. And keep the ace up your sleeve for luck.
This young man of yours,
He is not my young man.
he will be if you play your cards right.
What are you scheming now, Father?
Me? Nothing.
You leave Samuel alone. I like him very much.
So do I. Just that I see him as a sheep ready for the shearing.
No, Father.
He can afford it. I've been making a few inquiries. It seems the O'Needon family are quite a power on the land. One uncle is a ship owner, another is a member of Parliament, and his aunt is no less than a genuine ladyship.
Leave well alone. People like that would crush you underfoot like a beetle.
Will you listen to the girl? All I ask for is an honest penny to be put into an honest undertaking. A golden investment, the opportunity of a lifetime.
The Turk's revenge. Ha! Any backer foolish enough to put his money into that mishmash of plagiarism would soon find himself in Queer Street.
Plagiarisms? No, no, my dear. Borrowings. Scrapings from the bowl of plenty. After all, what is the Silver King but East Lynne turned inside out? Nevertheless, it plays to packed houses. And so could the Turk's revenge. All it requires is a man of foresight to invest a few £1,000s.
Not Samuel. That poor man has got troubles enough of his own.
My dear daughter, I can assure you, the afflictions of the rich are as nothing to the afflictions of the poor.
His wife has left him.
Well, well. Is that a fact? And there was I thinking he wasn't even married. Is he taking you to supper yet again this evening?
He is? Why?
No reason. Ah, the poor fellow. No doubt he needed a lot of comforting. I expect he'll end up feeling quite grateful.
Ah, sorry to keep you, Aunt Letty.
I've been waiting for 15 minutes.
Well, I was in the bath when you arrived.
Well, what's so important that it can't wait until tomorrow? Here, let me tie that. Go on.
I have a favour to ask.
Well, keep still. Well?
I wondered if you'd care to come to the theatre tomorrow night. Afterwards, I'm giving a little supper party here for a friend. Well, for two friends, really.
Do I know them?
No, but I'm sure you'll like both of them.
Yes. Well, I'd be delighted to come, Samuel. It sounds like it might be a very interesting evening.
Good. Oh, there is another thing.
Yes?
It would be nice if you could persuade Mother to join us.
Why not ask her yourself?
Well, she has a habit of asking questions. I rather wanted it to be a surprise.
And not give her the opportunity of saying no.
Yes, that's right.
I haven't seen you so bright and cheerful for a long time.
Oh, well, one gets over these things.
Stopped drinking as well, have you?
Yes.
Well, I wonder what could be the cause of that.
So, I'll send a carriage for you at 7:30 then. Oh, Lord, is that the time?
It's all right, Samuel, I'm just going. No more questions?
The rock on our beam by noon, Baines.
Aye, we've made good time, but Burgess could be at the other end of the Mediterranean by now.
I'm counting on it.
No, we aren't making for Barcelona.
No. We'll lay a course for port side.
Head him off, you mean?
If we're lucky. Anyway, it's a good place for picking up news.
Well, what happens if we missed him and he's gone through the canal?
He won't. Seth Burgess needs money, so he needs to pick up a good cargo. I'm gambling on him finding one.
Well, even if we do find him, your Charlotte might not be willing to come over.
Willing? She's no choice in the matter.
Well, she's a grown woman. She's over 21.
She's my daughter, and she'll do as she's told. I'll shake out some more sail. We're dawdling.
How much longer do we have to stay here in Port Side? There's coal dust everywhere. The smells appalling.
It was your idea to run away, not mine.
Are you saying that you're regretting that?
No. Just stop complaining. Our troubles are over, Charlotte. I've got good news.
You found a cargo?
Better than that. I bought one.
But I thought you said we had no money.
The opportunity was too good to miss. This agent offered me a cargo of raisins at a very good price, provided I bought sight unseen. Oh, it's all right. I inquired about him. He's a reputable agent. We'll make a fine profit on this trip.
And where are these raisins?
Cyprus, at a small port called Paphos. By tonight, we'll be on our way there.
Supper will be served in half an hour.
Thank you.
Mr. Doyle, a most entertaining evening. I seldom get a chance to go
Mr.
out.
Doyle, would you oblige me by opening the wine?
A pleasure, sir. Excuse me, dear lady.
Are you quite sure that was the same young lady that was in the play?
Yes, of course I am, Mother.
But she had fair hair and rosy cheeks.
Ah, a wig and makeup.
Oh, of course, stage disguise. Well, I must say it was certainly most effective.
Curtain up.
Did you enjoy the play, Aunt Letty?
Very much, Samuel. She's a fine actress.
Yes, isn't she?
And very attractive.
Yes. Have you heard from Uncle James yet?
No, not yet.
Madame.
Thank you, Mr. Doyle.
Monsieur.
Thank you.
Samuel, I trust you have explained the situation to Miss Doyle.
Oh, I think Helen perhaps knows more about me than anyone.
Really, Mr. Doyle, I don't normally indulge.
I'm sure just one glass wouldn't harm you at all, dear lady.
Well, perhaps just this once.
And after all, this is a very special occasion. Huh? Your very good health, dear ladies. A trifle thin to the palate, perhaps.
Oh, dear, I'm sorry if it's not to your taste, Mr. Doyle. Would you...
No, don't apologize, dear boy. Only a great wine, a noble wine, could complement the charm of two such gracious ladies.
Oh, Mr. Doyle, you positively discomfort me.
I see you have not lost the gift of your native Blarney, Mr. Doyle.
Blarney, not a bit of it. I merely spoke the truth.
Pay no attention to him. My father could charm ducks to the table.
Hasn't my daughter an expressive turn of phrase? Ducks to the table, indeed. I like it, yes. I like it. I crave your indulgence while I make a note of that phrase. I may incorporate it in my latest work.
Why not? You have included almost everything else.
The Turk's Revenge? By Fergus Doyle?
Are you then also a playwright, Mr. Doyle?
No, a mere scribbler, dear lady. A humble worshipper at the feet of the muse.
Oh, a man of many parts. So like my dear late husband.
Was he also of a literary turn of mind?
No, I don't think my father ever read a book in his life.
Just had an amazing thought. Dear lady, if you could oblige me with your opinion of this humble work, I would deem it a great honor.
Have you not had opinions enough, Father?
Of theatrical managements, what do they know? As my poor late lamented wife used to say, it's the audiences who fill the theaters and pay the bills.
But, Mr. Doyle, I do not think that I am competent to venture upon an opinion. I'm so little versed in the ways of the theatre.
Nevertheless, in the short time I've known you, it's obvious that you are blessed with good taste. And therefore, I would trust your judgment implicitly, dear lady.
Oh. Well, I shall do my best.
Nothing could be fairer than that.
My lord?
Oh, my dear Lady Fogarty, I do apologize for dropping in like this. Truth is that I've heard so much about you from my son Charles that when I found myself in the area, I couldn't resist the temptation to call. I do hope I'm not perjured.
Not in the least. And now, what may I offer you in the way of refreshment? Madeira? Or perhaps you would prefer brandy?
Oh, that would be excellent. I thought for one dreadful moment you were going to offer me tea. I gather you're fairly well acquainted with son Charles.
It would appear we have mutual interests, my lord.
Yes. Thank you. Now, you're in shipping, aren't you? Our interests are coal and iron.
Do sit down.
Because young Charles is always keen to gallop ahead and expand in every direction, he hasn't talked of buying you out, I suppose.
No. I think he'd know I'd refuse.
Yeah, good for you. Husband's in politics, I understand.
Yes. He spends a good deal of time at Westminster.
Ambitious.
I suppose he is.
Nothing wrong with that. I might have a word with Salisbury. He owes me a favour or two. Decent sort of fella. I've been looking at your pictures. Keen on horses, are you?
I enjoy riding, yes.
Do you breed?
No.
I do. Damned expensive business. You can't afford to make mistakes, you know. If you get a stallion of a good line, you have to choose the dam very carefully. Otherwise, you might weaken the line. All those years gone to waste. Damn shame when that happens.
For the stallion, the mare, or the owner, my lord? Another brandy?
Oh. I don't suppose young Charles has met such a combination of brains and beauty before. You know, my dear, I have a feeling that you might be a great help to me.
Oh?
Yes, you see, I want Charles to marry fairly soon. Between us, you and I could see that he chose the right wife.
Knock us away within the hour, eh?
Where are we heading this time? The Pacific?
No. Cyprus. We're only 3 days ahead of us. Well, look lively.
Are they allowing us into the harbour yet?
No. We'll have to remain at anchor in this bay for a couple more days.
Why?
They say the harbour's about to be dredged. I've got the feeling they're lying. I saw no sign of a dredger.
Well, did you speak to the man about the cargo?
When I went to the warehouse, I was told the owner was on the other side of the island, wouldn't be back until the end of the week.
They're foreigners, dearest. Time means nothing to them.
He knew the Black Pearl was arriving. He was quick enough to sell those damn raisins.
Well, if there's nothing we can do about it, why don't we just relax and enjoy ourselves?
Charlotte, every penny we have is tied up in that cargo.
Don't worry.
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't think she could make head nor tail of it.
That's not an uncommon reaction. Your poor mother.
Oh, she has no experience of reading plays.
Thank you, thank you. You are most kind. Thank you. You know, Helen, they really like that new curtain raiser. Ah, Samuel, my boy.
Evening, Mr. Doyle. I was just going.
Had a long talk with your mother today.
Oh?
What about?
Me play, of course. You see, it suddenly occurred to me that the proper way for your mother to appreciate the full drama of the Turk's revenge would be for me to give a dramatic rendition. Your mother suggested your house. Day after tomorrow.
We're too close inshore.
We're not.
If we're to have a clean run into Paphos, we need to stand off. The harbor's just round that headland.
I know that. I feel we won't need to go into harbour. I've got him. Baines, be prepared to drop anchor. We found the Black Pearl.
Eh? How the devil did you know she was going to be lying there instead of in the harbour?
A lucky guess.
Lucky my foot. It's to do with all those cables you set in port side, isn't it?
That's as may be. Now, when we drop anchor, you get ready to lower the boat. I think it's time that I paid Seth Burgess a little visit.
You want me to come with you?
No. No, this is family.
3 days we've sat here, and still no sign of that cargo.
You know as well as I do that the damned agent won't release it.
But you still haven't found out why.
Because I don't know why. Damn it, woman, haven't I tried to find out? Haven't I just spent the whole afternoon being passed from one man to the other? All I get's a bland smile and a shrug of the shoulders. If they don't open that warehouse for me tomorrow, I'll tear those blasted doors down with my bare hands. And I promise you something else, Charlotte. You start nagging me again, you'll go straight over the side. The sooner you realize that there is only one master on this ship, then the better we'll both get on. Is that clear enough?
Perfectly clear. Am I permitted to speak?
Aye, provided it's not to complain.
Is there a British consul on the island?
Of course.
Then I suggest the first thing you do tomorrow is go to see him. He'll soon deal with these foreigners.
You know, Charlotte, that's the first sensible thing you've said since we left Liverpool.
Won't do you any good, you know.
Father!
Got words to spare for you later, young lady. Meantime, you go and pack your bags. You're going home.
No, I'm not.
You'll do as you're told. As for you, Burgess, you've got 5 minutes to get off this ship.
Like hell. You get off my ship right now.
Your ship, eh? Well, now, what makes you think that?
You know damn well that when I left Liverpool, I sent your solicitor enough money to buy back your share.
Ah, yes, I've already told you. I don't choose to sell that money. It's still in Liverpool.
You can't do that. This is
You keep
Seth.
out of this.
For your information, Father, Seth and I have formed a company.
Principal assets being this ship, which neither of you owns now. That sounds to me like fraud.
How did you find me, O'Needin?
Oh, it wasn't difficult. I knew you were looking for a cargo, so I provided one.
You?
Aye. You were drawn to it like a needle to a magnet. Got friends all over the world, Burgess. Quite a few of them owe me favors.
I paid over good money for that cargo. I want it released.
Oh, how will you carry it?
In the Black Pearl.
No, you won't. We've got some settling up to do first. Now, you've been doing some trading since you left Liverpool. For a start, I want my share of the profits, plus the £800 you owe me for that refit. Now, I think that comes to about £1,200.
You go whistle for your money, O'Needin.
£1,200 being the value of your share of
I haven't got that money.
We'll have to put her up for auction, then.
Sell the Black Pearl? You can't do that.
Oh, can't I?
You're bluffing.
Seth, if I sell those O'Needin shares...
Of course.
You're a bigger fool than I took you for, Burgess. The O'Needin line is a private company. Those shares have to be offered to other members of the family first. You wouldn't make a penny on them.
Our lifeline, you said.
Well, I didn't know.
Well, you know now.
Seth, I'll not go back with him, I promise. We'll find a way. He can't force me.
She's right, you know, Eden. You can't force her. But since you want your daughter back, and I want the Black Pearl, I'll tell you what I'll do. You let me keep the ship. I'll let you take Charlotte home.
What? If you imagine that I'll be bargained
If it wasn't
over...
for you, I wouldn't be in this mess.
You told me you loved me. The only thing you love is this damn ship. Father, take me away from here.
Right, lass. Go and pack your bags. Now, Burgess, I'll give you a choice. Either you let me have a share of the ship,
Or
I lay charges of theft and fraud against you.
you realize, I suppose, that I've only got to call my crew, and they will throw you and your precious daughter overboard.
Your crew left the ship half an hour ago. If anybody goes overboard, it'll be you. You have been outmaneuvered. You are undergunned.
You're a thief, O'Needin. I've worked all my life to own a ship like this.
And now you've lost it.
They fight. He runs the Pasha through with his sword, turns and salutes the captive melody. I lay the world at your feet, dear lady.
Oh.
The curtain falls.
A most expressive performance.
My delight is in your enjoyment. I take it you did enjoy it, dear lady.
Oh, yes, yes. You brought it quite to life, Mr. Doyle. What is your opinion, Samuel?
Oh, extraordinary. Quite extraordinary. Although there seem to be rather a large number of scene changes.
There speaks a man with an eye for the theatre. A little judicious pruning, perhaps, a general tightening up here and there. Naturally, without benefit of scenery and with only my own poor performance as guidance, one loses something of the grandeur and the spectacle.
But I found it most exciting. In parts.
Ah, there's the rub, dear lady. Of what use is a successful work without an auditorium? For the expenditure of a few paltry pounds, the wise investor could unearth a veritable gold mine.
Father, don't you think it's time we left for the theatre?
Oh, no. Must you go?
Aunt Betty.
Please forgive me, everyone, but this is most important. Samuel, I'm sorry to intrude, but I've had a telegram from James. He's found Charlotte. He's bringing her home.
Time for the noonday sight. Care to see how it's done? Look, no good brooding on the past. You're going home, that's all that matters. Luke, I know you've done wrong, but...
I've sinned. There's no need to mince words.
Aye. Oh, well, that's as may be. Nobody's got a clean sheet. Luke, children will be looking forward to seeing you.
If I'm allowed to see them.
Of course you will.
Had Mother lived, life might have been very different. I'm sorry I killed her by being born.
fool! Grab it!
I'll be damned if I have my father meddling in my personal affairs. I'll be damned if I let him choose me a wife. I'll have it out with him tonight.
No, Charles, now you're not to quarrel. There's a very special bond between you two which I will not wish to see broken.
I want you for my wife.
Even if I were free, your family will not have me.
You'll be marrying me, not them. I shall speak to my parents quietly. I shall go on talking until they see reason. We shall arrange a divorce, then we shall marry. One step at a time.
Leaving? But when? Why?
Well, we are a touring company.
I can't lose you, Helen. I won't.
My father was planning to inveigle money from your mother for that wretched play of his. It's for the best, Samuel, you'll see.
Where will you go?
If I told you, you'd only follow.
Tell me or not, I'll still find you. Having come into my life, I'll not let you go.
Huh? Oh, my love. And I was going to be so strong.
I want you for my wife. And I'll move heaven and earth to that end.
How is she, sir?
She's lost a lot of blood.
Ah, she'll be all right. There's no sense in blaming yourself.
Who said I was?
Do you want me to sit with her? Go and get a breath of air.
No, we're all right.
Black Pearl's still keeping up with us.
Good. You look better. How do you feel?
Father, I've been such a fool.
So, 3 o'clock train.
Yes.
Shall I come to the station?
No.
It's not as though we'll be apart for long. I'll be over to Manchester next week.
By then your wife will be home.
I know the family will try to force me to take her back, but they won't succeed. Now, as soon as I know I can be a free man, then I shall come to you.
You know, Miss Charlotte, there's nothing beats making a good landfall. When you've traveled hundreds of miles and suddenly there rises up out of the sea the right piece of land just where you hoped it would be, that really does something for a sailor.
Aye. Makes him think of featherbeds and steak pudding.
They weren't what I'm talking about, and well, you know it, you young rascal.
Are we in the Mersey yet, Captain Baines?
No, we soon will be. Would you like to come topside and take a look?
I shan't be looking forward to seeing Liverpool again.
Look, what about that bandage? That should have come off days ago. Would you like me
No. No, I'll do it. Thank you.
All right, my dear.
Tom, would you get me a looking glass?
Anything for you, milady.
I think it's best if you both stay and hear what I have to say.
Samuel, are you quite sure?
Yes. Charlotte, when I asked you to marry me, you were with child by William. I asked you to marry me because I believed at the time that I was in love with you. I also felt sorry for you. I was well aware that you did not love me. However, I fondly hoped that you would grow to do so. I provided you with a home and as much comfort as my resources would allow. And in return, although I received neither love nor affection, I did at least look for some degree of companionship, some spark of loyalty or affection.
Samuel, we understand.
All right, I shall come straight to the point. Charlotte, I do not intend to live out the rest of my life under such miserable conditions. Our marriage has been a sham and an hypocrisy. Naturally, I shall continue to support you.
Say no more, Samuel. I'll pack a few clothes and go.
No, there's no need for you to go immediately. You can stay for a few days. Well, you obviously need to rest for a while. But we must talk about the future.